All right, so I got another game dev update this week, and I'm going to be showing you guys some changes that I've been making to things. Actually got a fair amount done. Some things I'm going to show you, some things I'm not. Some things are going to be shown but aren't in a very complete state, but we're going to just talk about what I got. And so just without further ado, let's just go ahead and take a look at these implements. You can see there's two new ones here, and we're going to start... actually, you know what? We're going to go ahead and start with the least well refined of the two. This is the very buggy one. This is the haybine. I've been having some difficulty getting this to work properly and making it, not buggy and weird. So we're just going to attach it though. You can see how it jumps around a bit, and that's just some physics bugs that I have to work out. But the idea is to get this animated and working and functional, similar to the cutter bar mower, and this is a similar system to the cutter bar mower, where it does do the same thing, but the idea is to have the haybine be a little more aggressive, and because a haybine will crimp the hay, it'll dry faster. So that's going to be like an attribute for the haybine, is it's an improved version of the cutter bar mower. Lets you get things done a little more quickly with haying, and makes things a little easier on you because of that functionality. And the idea is you're towing it behind the tractor and it's offset, and in fact this lever arm is going to actually fold once it gets working, so it's got like a transport mode where it sweeps that mower back behind the tractor, and then this active mode where it's actually trailing out to the right of the tractor, so you can actually go down your field. And this is kind of a weird artifact. I don't know why that's doing that. You can go down your field, and your tractor won't be within the hay, and that's kind of the idea of these haybines, is for that to stay to the right of the tractor, so you're kind of going in previously mowed grass while you're cutting unmowed grass with the haybine, and you just kind of loop up and down the field like this, and you can do corners fairly easily like this. It does a good right hand turn, and then you can just go around and just keep mowing through your field like that. So that's the idea behind the haybine. Works a lot like the cutter bar mower, but like I said, it is going to dry the hay a lot faster. That's going to be a little bonus attribute of that. So we're just going to go ahead and bring this back over here and dump that off, and we'll show you the next implement. So I'm going to skip the actual cutter. Well, yeah, let's just attach the cutter bar mower and show you guys what it used to do, or what this one does rather. And we'll just go ahead and attach that up, and you can see it still unfolds, and it folds back up, and yeah, there we go. And then you can activate it with the PTO, and you can see it still works. It's actually been refined a little bit because of that additional, I'm going to need more controls for that, that haybine, as opposed to the sickle bar mower. So the action of the sickle bar is actually on the PTO now, unlike the way it was before, which was just like option 1 and option 2, which is not ideal. And now you've got option 1, option 2, the PTO, and a couple others that I'm going to end up probably using for like other, more delicate operations, as it were, like a front end loader, and having that action be controlled by like a D-pad on a joystick or the mouse. And so that's the idea. And then you've got the old trailer, which we remember the old trailer. It didn't do much, but it's got these physics cubes in it. That is going to change eventually, but we do want to see this new trailer. So this new trailer over here is an upgraded form of that, and we're going to go over and attach to that, because it's got some new tricks up its sleeve. So we're just going to go ahead and attach and bring this out, and you can see that inside of it is actually a bunch of spheres, not cubes this time, so that's a little different. And we've got this structure over here, which is just it's just a bunch of colliders on those on a bunch of cubes that I've kind of put into a box kind of shape. But we're going to use that as a place, and you can probably see where we're going with this. Clearly, I mean, it's gotta do something, right? So we're backing this thing in, and just gonna get this in. See how good of a tractor driver I am today. Not great, but there you go. And now we just go ahead and hit the dump button, and it opens up and it dumps everything out. And once we're done, we can fold it back up and drive away. And now you've got nothing in the trailer. So that is the dump trailer. That's a new change. So I kind of added some stuff there and made things a little more universal across the board. So like, there's a lot of different things that I changed. Like I said, the more remotes, the more options that are going to be on control surfaces, so that you can control all these things. And then I also turned that into the controller for the trailer. So basically, the normal trailer doesn't have those actions, but it could if you wanted to implement them, to implement the animations and whatnot. But I wanted to do it in two separate ones to show you kind of how this is all going to work. Like, you can have the same code operate two very different implements between the trailer and the dump trailer, or between the sickle bar mower and the haybine. So that's generally the idea here. So let's just take a look at that again. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a better look at the actual dumping operation. You can see it raises up that tailgate as it's tilting back, and then it comes back forward. And you can actually see in the middle of the cage there's a piston that I haven't animated yet, but I'm going to be working on that pretty soon. You can see there's a connector for it. So once I get everything more detailed, I'm actually going to have pistons in here that are operating, and it's going to look a little bit better than this. Obviously, again, this is all, simple polygons. It's not actually modeled to any sufficient degree. This is just for mechanics' sake. So that is generally the idea. And then you can see it folds back up, and it's it's a pretty neat operation there. And the one thing I did want to mention, though, before I call this, is that having these physics objects in the back is not going to stay forever. This is just kind of getting me past the basics here, just to get it working. But the idea would be, instead of having like a bunch of cubes or a bunch of spheres like in that hopper there, it would actually be more of a game mechanic, where it would be a shader inside of the trailer that would basically stand in for hay or wheat or corn or whatever, and it would build up inside of that trailer in the sufficient volume that the trailer is supposed to be holding at the time. And then when you dump it, the idea would be that it would have that go down as the trailer is being emptied, and it would have like a particle system to dump it into wherever it's going, and have a shader over there to pile it back up again. So it would have two places, point A and point B. You would have to be near that secondary point to dump. Otherwise, it's not going to go. It's not going to work. And that way you can kind of move stuff around within the game without having it be actual physical objects to deal with, and have all those colliders and all that mess to deal with, because I can imagine that that's not going to be ideal for this. I think it needs to be a simplified version where it is that point A, point B, numbers trading hands, basically. So if you have 50 units in your dump trailer, and you've got no units in your hopper, and then you dump it all out, it goes from the 50 units in the trailer to the 50 units in the hopper. Or you can do 25-25 and cut it short, or what have you. But it's going to be basically a value that's being stored in those two places, as opposed to having actual colliders, actual spheres and cubes and stuff. Maybe for hay bales, it would be cubes and cylinders, but certainly not for loose material. I think that needs to be more simplified so that it's easier to handle in game, because I don't want to bog you guys down in this game to have to, basically chase down a bunch of little spheres running all over the place because, there happens to be going downhill, and you dump them all out into the middle of a river or something. That's not necessary. We need it simplified and more enjoyable, more fun. So that's why that's going to be different. This is, like I said, just to get us over the hump. But, it's coming along. Things are looking pretty good. And as far as that shader work is concerned, I don't have those shaders in place, but I am working on a lot of other shaders that I'm going to be showing off, I don't know, pretty soon here, hopefully. I had to write some code around it to try and manage it from the outside, to build the texture arrays and everything needed for those shaders to work. But that is coming along pretty good. It needs some work. It's going to be in the future in another game dev update, but figured I'd show you guys this just because it's been coming along and it's looking pretty good. And it's by no means a finalized version, but it is kind of giving me an idea by building these prototypes as to how I want this to work and what it's going to look like at the end result, the finished product. So there it is. So yeah, if you guys like this, give it a like and let me know what you guys think. Really, if you like it or not like it, let me know if you have any thoughts on how this is going along. So that's all I got for you guys. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you guys later.